Good evening. It is 3:30 Eastern time and I'm going to go through my trade for today. It was one trade. Technically it could have been two trades. It was kind of got back into the same trade. And I'm going to go into that just in a second. First we'll look at the levels I was watching today. So I was only watching two levels. I was watching this level here down in what used to be the supply zone. It's now a demand zone, so I was looking for it to come in and bounce, but obviously you can see that never happened. And the other level I was watching was the pre-market high area, and I was looking for either a break and retest long, I was looking for a rejection, and I changed my mind on the rejection last minute because of some order flow I was looking at. I think in the pre-market video I went through it, and at the end I added that extra level into my plan for today, and I was looking at the cumulative delta, and you can see the price was going up on the order flow, and at the same time the cumulative delta, which is the aggressive buying and aggressive selling, was coming down, so it's showing a negative cumulative delta. And what I do is I just draw lines between pivots. Wrong one. So I like to connect the lines together, that one there and that one there. You can see that's kind of getting steadier as declining, where this one was going up and then going sideways. So I added the bounce, the rejection off of the pre-market high as a play in my plan today, which I'm just going to open up my trading plan, drag it over, it's just loading. But anyway, so that was my levels for today. Generally once I load fast, it loads as slow as it can. Okay. And I basically took one trade. Let's open it up, here we go. So I took one trade today, and that was basically the rejection, this one here, of the 51.13, 51.14 area. And you can see in my pre-market notes, I put screenshots in as well, and the screenshot I just showed you was my screenshot from earlier, why I changed my mind, and I put my levels in. So I had two levels today. Previous all-time highs was a bounce, and then that 53.15, which I'm going to go into right now. I always recommend just giving yourself a little bit of a plan before you start trading, purely because it sets your mind focused for the rest of the day. So I'll go into my Ninja Trader. This is my platform. So I was watching 53. Well, basically, it's a pre-market high area. I think I put it down at 53.16, and I was watching. It was around about 16. Here we go. So that's my entry there. Ignore that. That was a test one I did because I was testing out these new buttons today. That was a sim account entry. I literally just wanted to see whether the flatten all button works, which it does. And I've got a lockdown button which I'm still coding, and that will just lock down my system, stop me from trading it once I've decided that's me done for the day. Just so to stop my tendency of over trading. That's basically all it is. So looking at the 5-minute chart, you can see my entry was there. I'm not sure. I don't remember. I didn't get stopped out. Why was that? I'm not sure what that arrow there is for. Oh, okay. Maybe I took a 12.15. Oh, yeah. So that's my re-entry. And let's go back. I'm looking at the wrong part of the chart. I thought it didn't look right. Okay, so this is my entry here. Yeah, that was my actual entry. Okay, got it. Sorry. My pre-market one. That was in the pre-market. I took a test transaction just around. I think it was down here actually, or can't remember exactly. But I was just testing out these buttons. But this is my entry here. I went short, and in fact I called it up here. I was watching the order flow, saw the topping tail, saw the volume declining. I was watching the order flow was coming in quite nicely at that point as well, and sorry, just make sure, and I saw lots of sellers coming in, and I was just in our trade room and I said, right, I'm going to go short right now, and I wish I clicked the short button first before justifying, because the moment I said it, it was about there, we saw this big red bar come in, and so I didn't get filled. I got filled quite late, so my fill was there, and obviously my I had a 10 tick stop about there, and I had a 20 tick, and I had a 25 tick, and I got in with 5 contracts, and it came in. It instantly took me out for profit on the first 10 ticks, but my stop was such a late fill. It was a short. It wasn't as much as I really wanted, because when I go in with my strategy, it puts in just ticks from my moment I click the button, but that was a lot of slippage I had, so it wasn't a massive winning trade, that one. But I was out. I had 4 contracts left. Finally got down to 2R. Look at that right on the bottom. That's my 2R tick. So I was okay at that point, and then it came all the way back out, and I didn't like it, so I came out of my trade. Pretty much a little bit worse than break even. I was kind of back to break even at that point, because I had these 2 winning trades. So I had these 2 winning trades, and then that was on 2 contracts, and I had that stop out on 3 contracts. So I got out. In fact, no, I added one more. That's it, I remember now. I added right at the top, and then I knew that if it's going to break the high of the day, that add would have taken me straight out, which it did. And then I got out the rest of my contracts at the 25 tick mark, or it should have been the 25 tick mark from where my entry was, about there. It was probably about 35 ticks in the end. So a bit annoying, but you know, it is what it is. And then as soon as I saw the order flow, and I saw that just here, I was really unlucky to get ticked out just there. Look at that. So I was watching, I saw loads and loads of sellers come into this area, loads and loads of sellers. So I got straight back in again, and back in with my 5. My stop was above the high as well. I think I had a 10 tick stop there. And so I took profit at 10 ticks, that's 1R, profits at 2R. Then I took profits at a bit of a keyboard error. I accidentally got out when I didn't want to. I hit the keyboard by mistake. And so I got out and I immediately got back in again, and then took my 3R target just there, and then I took my 5R target there, and I finally came out of it. I saw these bottom tails come in, end in volume, and so I got out here. Looks like it was a good out, around about 7R, I think it was 5 or 6R. Should I have got out on this double bottom? Yeah, maybe. I was watching that and I was toying. I had my hand over the flatten all button right here, and obviously we saw volume in that area, but I thought I just want to see whether we break. My justification was I wanted to see whether we broke this downtrend, and you can see I got out as we broke up through the downtrend, and look, we kind of come up, we come back down, we tested it again, and then we came up to the VWAP. So that was the reason I got out where I did. I was just waiting to see if it holds this, and it obviously hasn't held it, so it was a good out. It gave probably about $20 back per contract, or I only had 1 contract left. I gave about $20 back per account. I'm trading 20 Apex accounts at the moment. At this point here, I should have got out where my gut feeling said to get out. You know, volume price analysis showed that we had volume coming in, and then we had more volume coming in there. So, but anyway, at the end of the day, it was a decent trade. I tested out my flatten button on a real trade, and that worked perfectly. So I just flattened it, made sure I got everything closed, and decent day. So could have been a worse day had we broke the high, because I did go short again. But it was reading the market, I was reading order flow, I read it correctly, got in. My entry was, it was a great entry, but the slippage, because we had that bar move so quick, literally it was moving really, really slow. And the moment I said I'm going short to people in the trade room, and then I said the reason for that is because, and it just went boom. I got in at the same time, and it was about $2-3 slippage on that. But it is what it is. I only use market orders because I'm trying to time my entries, and limit orders. I only use limit orders when I'm getting out. So my limit orders were at 1R, 2R, 3R, 5R, and then eventually I used market order to get out here. I had a 10R limit order, which is just below this area, but 5300 was the area I was watching because it's a psychological number, and it was the lows of yesterday. Oh no, in fact, lows of this area here as well, kind of the area I was watching, and it's yesterday's high. So my 10R I probably would have brought forward a little time. I think my 10R was exactly there around this area, so I would have taken it had it come down into this area anyway. And that's it. So decent day trading. I'm going to call it one trade. Technically it's two trades because I did get straight back in. It was two trades. And then, you know, I think it can still get down to 5,300. But the market has only got half an hour to go. And that's me done for the day. Okay, hopefully you had a good day's trading. I will be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern time for the pre-market live video. And I'll go through these levels again. So yeah, another day where the levels worked. So that was the area I was watching, break and retest, all the rejection, and I took the rejection. And I put in this higher risk level as well yesterday, today in the pre-market, based on the pre-market low. And that was that coming in at 6 a.m. And I said we can watch this area for a higher risk bounce or break and retest into this void below. And lo and behold, it's bounced there already, come all the way up to the VWAP. So levels, my levels work great, and I just need to make sure I trust them more. Sometimes I don't have as much trust as I should in the levels, but I think if we see a bit of a sell-off, then we've got this nice big level down here below. 52.50 psychological, that's a bit of a big arrow. 52.50, we can watch that area. That's better for a bounce probably tomorrow, or well, we just need we need a bit of a pullback before we go long. I can't, like I said earlier as well, it's so hard to go long up here when we're so extended on the hourly, we're extended on the daily, and we're going up into all-time highs. So all of this area is this area here is kind of no man's land. We don't really know where there's targets. We could probably do fibs and work out a possible target or a rejection area. And what I'll do for that is I'll just take fibs of a known area. So probably this area, this high to this low. And then you can move that over then to kind of, let's do it the other way around. Low to high. So we've got a fibs area down here. Oh, got a fibs area down here. If we pull back, this is a 50% of that big move. But we can also clone that and put it up here, and that can show you a potential target. I'm not saying I've back tested, but I do keep an eye on it and see whether if we make a new breakout, then we can use the historic fibs from before as a potential target. I've noticed a few times as well, I don't trade fibs, but where we're in no man's land, I need to come up with a plan of where I can find a rejection. And obviously we've got this trend line as a rejection as well. Let's just zoom. Here we go. So this trend line can act as a rejection area as well. So we kind of got some indication. If I clone it, yeah, there's nothing in between. We've got this area here where these bottoms touch, kind of in there, and it's kind of looking a bit weaker there, but still stays within this zone. Back up, we could use this area for a bounce as well, and that's probably about the 50% as well. It's quite significant. We've got bottoms of candles, bottoms of candles, tops, tops, tops. So potentially, if the smart money's watching the same zones where they came back, if we come back into that area, we can look for a bounce, and that's probably the fibs 50%. I'm sure it is if I drew it in. Let's have a look. Look at that, almost spot on, 50%. But I'm not a fibs person. I do keep an eye on it. RSI I keep an eye on as well. You can see we're very extended on the RSI. Last time it was up in that area, it was here. We had a bit of a sell-off for a day or a few days. So potentially we're kind of in that area as well. In fact, we're even it's about the same height as well. So if you go back to this day here, and here was up in that area, and we had a sell off as well over a few days. So that's an area to keep an eye on. So we are the RSI is telling us we're overbought. The moving averages are telling us we're very extended. Let's look at the daily for a second. So we're far away from the 20, we're far away from the 50, and we're far away from the 200. And it does eventually need to come back to these areas. You know, last time it was down at the 20 was at the end of last year, and the 50 end of last year. We've yet to touch it. So if we've got a pullback, we can expect it to at least come back to the 50 moving average. And funnily, happens to be an area of confluence as well. Tops and bottoms, so this is a good area for us to pull back to if we do see a bit of a pullback. We won't know that until we break this trend line structure, so we can use the trend lines as a guide of when we do eventually come back out. We need to break down through that area, and that's it. Volume wise today, the market's almost closed in a quarter of an hour. I don't think it's going to see much more volume come in, but we've got a lower volume candle day. You can see that with a smaller, potentially top and tail candle, but it's a narrow range bar. We still got this reversal candle. We've got higher volume than we expect. You know, this is kind of showing an end of a trend, so we'll keep an eye on things. And that's it. Okay, thank you for watching. Don't forget, I'll be back tomorrow for the live pre-market. We'll go through the levels and see where we are tomorrow. And then I'm also streaming order flow, which you can see on this screen. So this is streaming live as well, and occasionally I'll jump on the mic and just if I see anything I'll discuss it. I'll normally mark it up as well, so you know I'm going to talk about it if you see arrows coming in. If you want any questions about what I've got set up here, just leave a comment below as well. Okay, thank you for watching.